Mr. Spratt is a very gifted artist, and I am so proud of his masterpiece that will adorn our campus. It's so much more than a sculpture. It's a work that creates a personal experience for our veterans. Mr. Spratt is resting comfortably in our hospice unit. He will be unable to join us today. We are so happy to have his wife, Carol Spratt, with us. Thank you, and please enjoy our ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Warren Dupree, Charles George, Project Coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some very sad news that I must share with you now. James Spratt, the man who created this work of art, has just passed away. His life, he hung on and fought his cancer until this day was almost done. He lived for this. He was in hospice in the Community Living Center, and now he is with our Creator. I must share with you his legacy. We were approached in June of 2015 by John Davidson, who at that time was a patient experience officer here. And he presented to me that he had a United States Navy veteran who was a master bronze sculpture artist who wanted to give back to this beautiful, wonderful facility for the outstanding treatment that he had received. This facility extended his life by 7 years. They were kind to him, they treated him with gentleness, and all the good things in life for someone who was terminally ill and a veteran of the United States Navy. He wanted to give back. He had worked all of his life as a professional sculptor and has done many works. In July of 2015, John Davidson, James Spratt came to Cherokee, and we took them before our governing body, our tribal council. We shared with them at that time this mission, this project, this program, what we wanted to do. We sought our people's permission to proceed. It was given to us in a unanimous fashion. But from the very beginning, we were working against time. James knew he would not make it through to the end. So we had to work with a sense of urgency. Then began the fundraising. We had to raise the funds. We formed a committee, the Charles George Memorial Project Committee, made of tribal council members, Marie June Luska, Anita Lossie, veterans David McQueen, Ernie Panther, Sam Lambert, Ray West, and community members Joyce Cooper, Nancy Poncho, and especially Patty Buchanan, the niece of Charles George. We came together. We were able to raise the funds. The generosity that our tribal council, that our principal chief extended to us was absolutely beautiful in a wonderful way. Our community clubs, private fundraisers, everyone came together because they knew the importance of honoring not only a national hero but a tribal treasure. In the fall of last year, Mr. Spratt began work on the clay model. Every 3 weeks he went for chemotherapy at this facility, and for about several days he was unable to really function or move because of the chemotherapy that he had endured. So he worked. He had an apprentice, Kirsten Coulter. Every need that he required, we were able to give to him, to supply to him. Every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, our committee personnel would go and visit him at his studio in Hendersonville. We were to monitor progress, to see how he was developing, especially to check on his condition. Patty Buchanan, Ray West, Ernie Panther. We had the family look at the clay model as it was unfolding. Ray West fished with this young man, Charles George. So it was important that they look at it and give their input so as it developed, it would be as realistic to him. Charles only had 3 surviving pictures of him. So James Spratt worked with 3 pictures of him in his battle dress fatigues and 2 in dress uniform. Amazing that anyone can be so talented with a God-given blessing that can do something and create and give life to something that is not capable of life. In June of this year, he completed the clay model. Jack Ward and James Spratt have been good friends for over 40 years. Jack Ward Foundry, Canton, Georgia. He came to James's studio, and in June of this year, we loaded it up and we escorted it to the foundry in Canton, Georgia. We went down 26 to 85, which I refer to as the road of hell. The traffic was unbelievable through Atlanta. We had to get it there quickly because of the heat temperatures. Jack Ward could only work early in the morning. When you work with molten metal, it's 2,000 degrees plus Fahrenheit. Very difficult. We were down to the wire. James Spratt, we visited with him. We shared with him how it was unfolding. We communicated. We have made 4 trips to the foundry. We have 1 more to go to recover the 2nd bronze to be placed in Cherokee at the Veterans Memorial Park on November the 11th, Veterans Day of this year. This statue was recovered on Thursday of this week. It was brought to Cherokee yesterday morning. It was brought to this location, and we had Jack Ward come from Atlanta, from the Canton, Georgia area near Atlanta, and he said it. What you will see here in a few moments will absolutely take your breath. Charles George, his spirit is with us. It may not be in this bronze, but it surrounds this area. He is here with us today, now, as we speak. James Spratt asked me to share these words with you. He wanted to thank the namesake of this true hero for the wonderful treatment that he had received while he was here, the kindness, the care that he received while he was here. He wanted to thank the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, the Charles George Memorial Project Committee, for their kindness in helping him make his dream come true. He wanted to give back, and this was his way of paying back to the veterans of the United States Armed Forces and the staff and members of this facility. His memory will live for thousands of years. Our Heavenly Father, You now have Mr. Spratt, my friend, our comrade in arms. He wanted to live long enough to see the unveiling. He even showed us how to stitch up and put up the veil. This veil was from him. For he was our brother, and I will miss him. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Same to you. Look forward to hearing your story. Have a good day. Thank you.